As you know, volume sales of midsize sedans and sedans in general has declined dramatically in recent years and been replaced by crossovers. Nevertheless, the Altima is still the most recognized nameplate in the Nissan lineup, and they've sold over 6 million units worldwide. This is now the 6th generation Altima, and we're going to give you a complete overview of what's new, especially under the hood. From a design standpoint, you have an all-new V-motion grille, and as you can see, you have this V-shape that's carried throughout the hood and the whole body, actually. It really is a very pronounced design language that Nissan is proud of. Inside, you even have some of that V-motion, so the idea is to make the car look like it's in motion, even though it's standing still. Nissan expects about 85% of Altima sales to have the 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, which is an okay carryover engine. Nothing too revolutionary there. They have made some refinements. However, this is the big news. The 3.5-liter V6 that they've had forever has been replaced with a 2-liter turbo. However, it's a variable compression turbo. If that sounds familiar, it's because we saw it in the Infiniti QX50 not too long ago. And the idea is that rather than a fixed compression ratio, most vehicles in this segment, like the Honda Accord, are going to be about 8, 9, or 10 to 1, somewhere in that range. This can vary from 14 to 1 all the way down to 8 to 1. And the idea is that when you're just cruising on the highway, you don't need as much of that turbo, but when you are accelerating hard, you got to get down to that 8 to 1 ratio, and this lets you do that. The result is great fuel economy, and it's pretty damn quick. Let's talk about the interior and how the all-new Altima drives. Altima's had some pretty good seats for a while. They're the NASA-inspired zero-gravity seats, and I like them. They're good, they're comfortable, supportive. For a midsize sedan, in my opinion, as good as anything on the market. The interior has been completely reworked. I mentioned this V-motion design, and they've carried it through. In here, you have standard Apple CarPlay and standard power seats on all trim levels. That's something they're very proud of. What you just heard there is Pro Pilot Assist, keeping me in the lane, reminding me that I veered over. And that's another thing that you get at the upper trim levels, and that's a great safety feature. You also get the Nissan 360 protection on most trim levels. So a lot of content. In my opinion, what Nissan is doing is going head-to-head with Kia and Hyundai as far as the value proposition, but from a styling and I would say desirability standpoint, they're clearly targeting the all-new Camry and all-new Accord. I definitely like what they've done with the exterior and interior. You have a 7-inch multi-information display between the gauges, analog gauges. I'm okay with that. You also have an 8-inch. You have an 8-inch infotainment screen throughout all the lineup, and again, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, good stuff. USBs. Let's talk USBs. 4 USBs, and 2 of them are USB-C. They tell us that's a segment first. The other big news is the all-wheel drive. No one else in the segment really offers that until maybe you go up to the upper end of a Fusion, but that vehicle's going away anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But the bottom line is that having that optional all-wheel drive, again, across all the trim levels, is big news. You can't get it with the variable compression 2.0 liter turbo, but you can get it with the 2.5, and I think for most people that'll be just fine. So overall, I think this is a home run as much as you can hit a home run in this segment. You know, I liken buying a midsize sedan today to almost like buying a refrigerator. You have LG, Samsung, General Electric, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, etc. Those are all pretty much kind of the same. I think the one that stands out in that is KitchenAid. It's a little more premium. Up until now, I would say the Honda Accord was the one that could be comparable to a KitchenAid. Now, I think the Altima can be talked to in the same kind of brand comparison. I think the rear three-quarter shot of the Altima is what really highlights the differences from the outgoing model to the new model, and I really like it. These slimmer taillights give it a more expensive look than what it is. Speaking of pricing, starting price of the all-new 2019 Altima is $23,800, give or take. That's for the S model. You then have an all-new SR model, which is the only model other than the Platinum and this Edition 1 where you can get the variable compression. When you get the variable compression, you can't get all-wheel drive. And the next model up from there is the, so you have the S. So for the whole lineup, you have the base S, SR, SV, and then SL and Platinum. And of course, we're driving this limited edition. They're only going to make 4,000 of these Edition 1. You can get all-wheel drive on any of the models as long as you get the 2.5 liter. That's going to add about $1,350. If you want the variable compression engine, front-wheel drive only, and that will add $3,000. I highly recommend that if you don't need all-wheel drive. Both engines are mated to a CVT, but a reworked CVT, and I got to tell you, that CVT with this engine is not bad. That's right, I said that. I can't even believe I'm saying it. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.